We're going to talk about double point needles today because I know they're quite terrifying for some people, although they don't need to be. Hopefully you all got the short 6-inch needles like these rather than the long ones that could double as barbecue skewers, because you really don't need those. Go ahead and cast on 40 stitches. You can cast them onto one short one if you need to. And then what you want to do is put 10 on each needle. Now the point that you would be at, as you can see I've kind of started knitting here, I've been cheating a little bit. This would be your last stitch right there, and that would be your first stitch. So we're going to take up our yarn, and we're going to pick up the 5th double point needle. Okay, your heart is now beating very hard. You're now talking about knitting with 5 needles. It's really not that complicated. I want you to look at how I'm holding needle number 1 and needle number 2, the same way I would if I was using any other needles. But instead of knitting onto needle number 1, I am going to take the empty needle and pretend that it's the same needle, and I'm just going to go ahead and knit that first stitch right onto it. Don't pull it too tight. Now your second stitch onto the new needle, you can pull tighter. That's how you close up your gap. And you're just going to knit across the new needle that you introduced and the second needle, and you only have 10 stitches, so this won't take but a moment here. And I apologize for Bear barking. The neighbor's cat is laying up on the deck there. It's always an exciting moment in his life. Now, as you take off this last stitch, this needle is going to come free. And that's a good thing, because it's what you're going to knit with next. So these are the first 10 stitches you've knit with. Now again, you're going to kind of line this up the same way, and you're going to knit with that next needle. Just nice and relaxed. Don't pull your needles tightly. You're going to hold them exactly the way you would if you were knitting with just 2 plain old needles. Ignore all the other needles that are poking up and are in your way. Yeah. Alright, now you've knit around and you've done your striped rows, and I'm going to show you what happens when you're slipping stitches. I'm actually knitting row 16 here, which is a knit one, slip one. So I'm going to knit one. I've changed colors. I'm going to slip one. I'm going to knit one and slip one, just like you would if you were knitting with circulars or regular straight needles. And now I'm going to knit one, and I'm going to slip that last stitch. And it's very happy sitting there. I'm about to change needles. I'm going to go all the way around like this. And you just slip one, knit one, slip one, knit one, slip one. Nothing to it. Oops, it would probably help if I stayed in pattern. And because you have an even number of stitches, you should begin and end with a knit one and a slip one on each needle. You don't need to keep counting because we're not losing any stitches around here. There's no knit two togethers or anything. Just knitting one